Imagine stepping onto the casino floor. The air is thick with the hum of 1,000 fans cooling high-powered motherboards, punctuated by the rhythmic chime of bells and the thud-thud of spinning reels. To most, this is a sanctuary of chance. To those of us who used to wear the uniform, it's a meticulously designed profit extraction machine. We've watched thousands of players sit down with high hopes, only to see their bankrolls vanish into specific cabinets that we knew, from the technical specs, we're never going to let them leave a winner. 1. You see, a slot machine's design isn't just about pretty graphics. It's a psychological and mathematical trap. Every light, sound, and seat height is calibrated to keep you in the zone, that hypnotic state where time and money lose their meaning. But the most dangerous part isn't the flashing lights. It's the lack of transparency about what's happening under the hood. We're going to peel back the curtain on the machines that we, as insiders, wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Because once you understand the logic of the floor, the game changes entirely. We aren't just talking about bad luck. We're talking about machines engineered with a math profile that makes winning almost statistically impossible in a single session. Before you insert your card, take 5 minutes to walk the entire floor. Observe the cadence of the room. Where are people winning, and where is the silence deafening? The most beautiful, branded cabinets are often the hungriest for your cash. 2. The math behind the mirage. The first thing we noticed in the tech room were the par sheets. These are the blueprints of a slot machine, and they contain a number that every gambler loves to quote: RTP, or return a player. You've probably seen it: 92%, 96%, maybe even 98%. But here is the secret the casino floor manager doesn't want you to realize. That number is a statistical average calculated over millions of spins, not your $100 buy-in. I once saw a player pour $3,000 into a 97% RTP machine and walk away with nothing. Why? Because that 97% includes the massive jackpots that only hit once every few years. For the average person sitting down for an hour, the observed RTP is often closer to 60 or 70%. The machine isn't due to pay just because it's been cold. The math simply operates on a timeline much longer than your evening. Insiders look at RTP as a ceiling, not a floor. We know that a high RTP on a high jackpot machine actually means the base game, the regular spins, is incredibly tight to make up for those big payouts. Don't chase a high RTP number if it's attached to a giant, million-dollar jackpot. Look for machines with a mid-range RTP, 94 to 95%, but smaller top prizes. These usually provide a much smoother, more consistent experience. 3. Volatility, the secret speed trap. In the casino industry, we categorize machines by volatility or variance. This is the feel of the game. High volatility machines are the ones you see in the flashy commercials, the ones with the $250,000 jackpots and cinematic bonus rounds. They are designed for the all-or-nothing player. As employees, we watch these machines bleed, players drive for hours without a single significant win, only for one person to hit a life-changing amount. If you have a small bankroll, these machines are your greatest enemy. You'll likely run out of fuel before you ever reach the win part of the graph. On the other end, low-volatility machines are the workhorses. They give you frequent, small wins, maybe just enough to cover your bet or a little more. They don't make you rich, but they let you play all night. The trap is that casinos often hide the low-volatility machines in the back because they don't generate the same crowd-drawing noise that a massive jackpot does. If you want your $100 to last 3 hours, stay away from any machine that has a top prize over 5,000 times your bet. High prizes require high volatility, which means a much faster path to zero. Do you prefer the thrill of the big chase, or do you just like to keep the reels spinning for as long as possible? And speaking of small bankrolls, let's talk about the biggest lie on the casino floor, the penny slot. 4. The penny slot paradox. One of the most common sights I saw as a slot tech was a player sitting at a penny machine, thinking they were being safe. It's the ultimate psychological trick. The label says 1 cent, but the math says something else entirely. Most modern penny slots are multi-line games, often forcing you to play 40, 50, or even 100 lines per spin. Suddenly, your penny spin is costing you $2 or $3. But here's the kicker. The lower the denomination, the lower the payback percentage. In almost every jurisdiction, $1 or $5 machines are legally and mathematically required to have a higher RTP than penny machines. When you play a penny slot at $2 a spin, you're getting a much worse deal than if you played $8 one machine at $2 a spin. You're essentially paying a convenience tax for the illusion of cheap play. We used to laugh when we saw players max betting pennies. They were taking the worst odds in the house while betting high roller amounts. Instead of max betting a penny machine, move up to a 25-cent or $1 machine and play fewer lines or a lower multiplier. You'll get better math and your money will usually travel further. Have you ever checked how much your penny spin actually costs? It might surprise you, but it's not just the machine you choose, it's where that machine is sitting. The floor layout is a map of your psychological triggers. 5. Layout logic, the high-traffic dead zones. Casinos are designed like a spiderweb. As a former employee, I can tell you that every square foot of that carpet is analyzed for coin-in per hour. We place the tightest machines, the ones with the lowest payouts, in the high-traffic areas. This means the machines right by the entrance, next to the elevators, or surrounding the buffet line are usually the worst bets in the building. Why? Because the casino knows you're just passing through. You're likely to drop $20 while waiting for a table or walking to your room. These machines don't need to provide a long play experience. They just need to grab your cash quickly. Conversely, the machines tucked away in the corners or the low-traffic areas are often where we put the games intended for local regulars. These players know the games, and the casino wants them to stay for 6 hours, so those machines are often set to be looser or lower volatility. Avoid the aisle machines. Walk past the flashing lights at the entrance and look for the machines that are tucked away or face a wall. These unpopular locations often house the best performing math for the player. Have you ever noticed that the machines by the loud bars always seem to stay empty or change players every 10 minutes? Next, we need to talk about those machines that look like your favorite movies, because that entertainment comes at a very high price. 6. The branded machine tax. We've all seen them. The Wheel of Fortune, Game of Thrones, or Walking Dead slots. They have incredible curved screens, vibrating seats, and clips from the shows. But as insiders, we call these leased games. Here's the secret. The casino doesn't usually own these machines. They lease them from the manufacturer, and a portion of every single dollar you bet goes directly to the movie studio or the celebrity whose face is on the glass. To cover these massive licensing fees and still make a profit, the casino has to set the payback percentage lower than the generic fruit machine sitting next to it. You are literally paying for the entertainment, not the chance to win. When you sit at a branded machine, you're starting the game at a 2 to 4% disadvantage compared to a non-branded equivalent. They are built to be eye candy, designed to distract you from the fact that the math is weighted heavily against you. If you want to win, stay generic. Look for the boring machines with names like Double Diamond or Blazing Sevens. They don't have movie clips, but they also don't have to pay a Hollywood studio a cut of your bet. Are you there for the movie clips or the money? The answer determines which machine you should pick. But what about that bonus that always feels like it's just one spin away? That's the most calculated trick of all. 7. Bonus cadence, the illusion of hope. The bonus round is the holy grail of modern slots. It's where the music picks up, the screen changes, and you feel like you're finally in the driver's seat. But from the back room, we see the bonus cadence. Game designers use something called near-miss programming to keep you engaged. You see 2 bonus symbols land perfectly, and the third one wobbles and just barely misses. Your brain treats that as a near win, releasing dopamine and telling you to keep going. In reality, the result was determined the millisecond you hit the button. It wasn't a near miss. It was a total loss, just dressed up in fancy clothes. Furthermore, some machines are bonus heavy, meaning 80% of the machine's total payout is locked inside that bonus round. If you don't hit the bonus, the base game will starve you. This is why you can go 200 spins without even a small win. Watch a machine for a few minutes before sitting down. If the line hits, regular spins, pay almost nothing. It's a bonus-heavy machine. Avoid these unless you have the bankroll to weather a 300-spin dry spell. Have you ever felt the heartbreak of a near-miss bonus? Do you think it makes you more or less likely to keep playing? And if you think the big jackpots are funded by the casino's generosity, wait until you hear how progressives actually work. 8. Progressive pitfalls. The giant glowing progressive meters are the ultimate siren song. $10,000, $50,000, $1 million. It's easy to think, if I hit that, all my losses don't matter. But progressives are the most expensive machines on the floor. Every time those reels spin, a small percentage of your bet, and everyone else's, is siphoned off to grow that jackpot. This money isn't coming from the casino. It's being taken away from the regular payouts of the machine. A progressive machine will always have a tighter base game than a non-progressive machine of the same type. You are effectively paying a jackpot tax on every single pull. Unless that jackpot is at an all-time high, what we call positive expectation, you are getting the worst math on the floor. I've seen people play progressives for years, contributing thousands to a jackpot that someone else eventually hits in 5 minutes. Only play a progressive if the jackpot has reached a must-hit amount or is significantly higher than its reset value. If the jackpot just hit recently, stay far away. The math is currently at its most punishing. Does a big jackpot make you more excited to play, or does it make you suspicious of the odds? But the most dangerous thing a machine can do isn't taking your money. It's tricking your brain into thinking you're winning when you're actually losing. 9. Near misses, the brain's most dangerous trigger. In the tech manuals, we don't call them near misses. We call them visual pseudo-wins. This is the most devious psychological tool in the casino's arsenal. Imagine you bet $3, and the machine goes into a frenzy. Bells ring, lights flash, and the screen says, "Big win." Then you look at the total. You won $1.20. You just lost $1.80, but your brain, triggered by the lights and sounds, thinks you're on a roll. This loss disguised as a win, LDW, is designed to keep you in the zone. It prevents the pain of a loss from stopping your play. As an employee, I'd see players smiling and high-fiving over a win that actually moved their balance closer to zero. This is how machines with high hit frequency work. They pay out often, but they pay out less than your bet. They aren't paying you. They're just returning your own money to you in small, noisy increments. Ignore the bells and the big win graphics. Look only at your total credit balance. If that balance is going down, the machine is winning, regardless of how much noise it's making. Have you ever been fooled by a big win that was actually less than your bet? How did it make you feel once you realized it? This leads into a major myth, the idea that machines are loose or tight, based on the time of day or the day of the week. 10. The hidden payout band. There's a legendary myth that casinos flip a switch to make machines tighter on weekends or looser on slow Tuesday mornings. I've worked the servers. It doesn't work like that. However, there is a grain of truth. While we don't change the settings daily, we do choose which payout band to use when we install a machine. A manufacturer like IGT or Aristocrat offers a single game with multiple settings, say 88%, 90%, 92%, and 94%. The casino chooses one and locks it in. Once it's set, changing it requires a lot of paperwork and, in many places, physical access to the machine. So, the machine doesn't change, but the floor does. We might place a 94% machine in a locals corner and an 88% version of the exact same game in the high-traffic tourist zone. You could be sitting next to someone playing the same game, but they are getting a much better deal because of where they are sitting. Pay attention to where the regulars hang out. If you see the same people at the same machines every week, those are likely the higher payout versions. Locals don't play the tourist traps by the front door. Do you have a lucky spot in your casino? It might not be luck. It might be a better payout band. But even a good machine can be a bad bet if it's too new. 11. Machine maturity. Why new games are the worst bets. Every time a truck pulls up with the newest, 4D, Ultra HD slot machines, the casino floor gets excited, but you shouldn't. New games are essentially live experiments. When a game is brand new, the manufacturer and the casino haven't yet gathered enough data to know how to maximize profit from it. To be safe, they almost always set the initial payout at the lower end of the allowed spectrum. They want to see how much pain the player is willing to take before they walk away. As the game matures and they get more data, they might adjust the floor layout or the settings. But in those first few months, you are the guinea pig. We used to watch the data on new releases daily, and if a game was too generous, it was tweaked or moved immediately. The tried and true Machines that have been on the floor for 3 years are much safer because their math is stable and known. Stay at least 6 months behind the trends. Let the whales and impulse players fund the research and development of the new games. Stick to the machines that have proven they can keep a crowd without needing a 60-inch screen. Are you always tempted to try the newest game on the floor? Why do you think they make them look so much like video games? This, eye candy, is part of a larger strategy: sensory manipulation. 12. Sound and light manipulation, the sensory trap. Did you know that slot machines are often tuned to the key of C? It's a tonality that is considered pleasing and non-threatening to the human ear. As an employee, I learned that the sound of a slot machine is just as important as the math. We use Vegas sound to create a sense of constant winning. Even if the floor is relatively quiet, the machines are programmed to broadcast win sounds, just loud enough to reach your ears from across the room. It's a psychological trick called social proof. Your brain hears the bells and thinks, everyone is winning but me. I need to keep playing. We also use red and gold lighting because they trigger appetite and excitement. The fast-paced music in bonus rounds is designed to increase your heart rate, which actually makes you press the spin button faster. The faster you spin, the faster the house edge takes effect. Break the trance. Wear noise-canceling headphones or listen to your own music. By removing the casino's carefully crafted soundtrack, you can see the machine for what it really is: a computer program running a math equation. Have you ever felt hypnotized by a machine? How long did you stay before you realized how much time had passed? Now, let's get practical. How do you actually pick a machine that gives you a fighting chance? 13. The Insider's Checklist: finding the workhorse slots. If I were to walk into a casino tonight with my own money, here is exactly what I would look for. I call these the workhorse machines. First, I look for mechanical reels, the physical spinning wheels. These are often, though not always, simpler games with fewer hidden features, meaning more of the RTP is in the base game. Second, I look for a machine with a single, clear jackpot, not 4 different levels of mini, minor, major, grand. Multiple jackpots usually mean the volatility is spiked. Third, I look for a machine that doesn't have a giant help menu full of 20 different bonus features. Simplicity is the player's friend. The more complex the game, the more ways the casino can hide a low payback percentage. I also look for the old man machines, the ones that look like they haven't been updated since 1995. Casinos keep them because the regulars love them, and regulars love them because they actually pay out. Look for the 3 real $1 denomination machines with a max bet of $2 or $3. They aren't the most exciting to look at, but they offer the most honest math on the casino floor. Would you be willing to play a boring machine if it meant you had a 5% better chance of winning? Finally, we have to talk about the most important part of winning: the exit strategy. 14. The discipline of the informed player. At the end of the day, the casino's biggest advantage isn't the math, it's your human nature. We've watched countless people turn a $500 win into a $1,000 loss because they didn't know when to walk away. The machines are designed to be sticky. They want you to stay until your last cent is gone. The only way to truly beat a machine that never pays out is to recognize when it has paid out and leave. We former employees have a saying: the casino only wins if you keep playing. Set a win goal just as strictly as you set a loss limit. If you double your money, get up, walk to the cage, cash out, and leave the building. The flashing lights and the one more spin, each are just the software doing its job. You've now seen the secrets, the layout traps, the branded taxes, and the psychological tricks. The real edge isn't a secret button. It's being the most informed person in the room. Treat the casino like a movie theater. You're paying for entertainment. If you happen to leave with more than you started with, you've had a great night. The moment it stops being fun and starts being a mission to win back losses, the casino has already won. What is your number one rule for staying disciplined in a casino? Share your strategy below, and let's help everyone play smarter. Remember, play for fun, play within your limits. And now that you know what we know, good luck out there.